A very good morning to you, and I'm very glad that you found time to join us this morning. It's a beautiful Wednesday morning here in Nairobi. Good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're tuned in today. This is Punchline Africa TV, and of course, as usual, we're coming to you from Kenya's capital here in Nairobi, and my name is Miriam Ogutu. And on the panel today, joining me is Daniel Besonga. Daniel, a very good morning to you.
Yes, a very good morning, Miriam Ogutu, at our headquarters there in Nairobi, and of course our viewers who are tuning in today morning from wherever they are.
All right, very well. So we shall be looking at the news making headlines in Kenya this morning, as well as later on. After we're done with that, we shall look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. It's good to always keep up and see what is it that the government under President Uhuru Kenyatta is doing, and we know his big four agenda, and so we are keeping tabs and just monitoring and seeing how is President Uhuru Kenyatta doing, and how far is he and the government in terms of achieving all the progress he's making on his big four agenda, which happens to be, what President Uhuru Kenyatta wants to leave as his legacy, among other things, uniting Kenyans and fighting corruption, which I think also is very important and key. And so we shall look at that. We shall bring you up to date with what President Uhuru Kenyatta has been up to in terms of, the progress he's made there with his agenda of leaving Kenya a better place than he found it. And that is not such a bad thing, right? So let's just turn to our newspapers this morning, and we start with the Daily Nation, and the front pages there says BBI, Uhuru and Raila cornered. Ultimatum, governors and county assemblies, which are said to play a key role in the success of the referendum bill, have put out their wish list, but with a rider, meet our demands or else. Let's just look at that on page 4 of the Daily Nation and see what is it? Why do these governors keep changing the goalpost all the time? You open the papers every day and their demands keeps changing. I don't know where. Look, let's see this time. What is it that our governors want there? As a President Uhuru Kenyatta and Orange Democratic Movement leader Raila Odinga face a litany of demands from constituencies key to the passing of the Building Bridges Initiative referendum bill, and who have threatened to reject it if their demands are not met. It will be a tough balancing act, going by Mr. Odinga's statement yesterday. There is little chance of significant new ideas being brought into the document ahead of the referendum, except for editorial work to make it explicit on demands by various groups where it sounds vague or general, as in the case with issues of pastoralists, he said. However, some groups feel that their views were not captured in the manner they were presented. Those are the corrections we promised to make. In Naivasha yesterday proposed at least 10 radical amendments to the report. Why radical? Okay, so they join a list of demands from Deputy President William Ruto's allies, lawmakers from Mount Kenya, Amani National Congress leader Musalia Mudavadi, the Service Party. Even the Service Party has some demands. I didn't know that. And of course, the women leaders, ward representatives and pastoralists and labor unions, in a joint statement to journalists read by Council of Governors Chairman Wycliffe Oparanya. The county bosses demanded pension and other benefits. Come on now. I want to see some of these demands. What governors are demanding? Now, the Council of Governors and the county economic blocks should be entrenched in the country's constitution. And I think we talked about the economic blocks last time. So they're saying this should be entrenched in the country constitution. And also, I think there were allowances, and also the role of the Senate needs to be expanded. Every county government must contribute towards common projects and the county economic blocks. Okay, allocation of funds to county assemblies should be 10% of the recurrent expenditure, subject to collection of revenue by the devolved governments. Where a function is devolved, taxes, levies, and fees charged on these functions shall accrue to the respective county governments. A retired governor should be entitled to pension, a saloon, and a four-wheel drive vehicle. This is selfishness. Well, a lot of that, maybe some of that makes a bit of sense and will benefit Kenyans. But a lot of these demands the governors are making, Daniel Wesonga, has nothing to do with the benefit of Kenyans. This is selfishness to the next level.
About even that particular party, which Governor Mwangi wa area, the service party, which not Mwangi wa area, but Mwangi Kinduri.
We can't hear you, Daniel. We are having a bit of a trouble with your. Sound there, so maybe after we fix it, and then we can continue there. But I don't know, as a Kenyan this morning, let's just look at, perhaps point by point, these new demands. Like every day they meet, they're making, some demands. The other day it was the need to be given the freedom to choose their deputies in the general election, and they should be allowed to choose their deputies after the election. And also they said they should not be obliged by the law to choose either gender, and a litany of other demands. And now they're coming out and they're saying a retired governor should be entitled to a pension, a saloon car, and a 4-wheel drive vehicle. Let's just start with that.
Yes, Miriam, I don't know if you're able to get me right now.
Yes, we're fine now. Go ahead.
Okay, so as I was saying, when you look at the kind of demands that these governors are making, they are quite so outrageous, and they don't really reflect the interest of the people of Kenya at the end of the day. Because when you look at it, these are more politically motivated demands. When you see the clause they want to change about and being able to choose a deputy governor of their wish, and also use a formula that they deem to be quite convenient to themselves. This is something that really does not espouse the principles of the constitution, like the two-thirds gender rule, and also it has the total disregard about integrity of our very own constitution. So I think we made a very, very big mistake by allowing this window of people submitting their own consensus, their own memoranda immediately after we had launched the document, because this is akin to opening up a Pandora box. And you see the kind of outrageous demands that are coming in from the pastoralist communities, from the governors, and from other special interest groups. And very soon you're gonna find even now individuals who are supposed to present their views during the hearing, the public participation period, also coming up and wanting their views to be accommodated. So if we can fragment the discussion into that particular smaller bits, then I believe it's going to be fodder for confusion, and it's going to derail the timelines which have been set for the BBI report to be implemented. So to me, I think the governors should be quite considerable. They should look, first of all, at the interests of the people of Kenya. And you remember, the issue of two-thirds gender rule is something that really almost broke the government of the day when the Chief Justice wrote to the President to dissolve Parliament. So we have to look at it. Everyone has to sacrifice before we can be able to have a working formula. And of course, that is what a leader should do for their nation. So to me, I believe that the governors are just being selfish. And those ones who are at the forefront in the BBI, in advocating for the BBI report, and those ones who put the document together, especially President Uhuru Kenyatta and former Prime Minister Raila Odinga, should come together. They should be able to talk to those leaders and show them the need of having some of those recommendations remaining unchanged, for the sake of this nation and for the sake of achieving some milestones in our constitution. But otherwise, Miriam, I think it was not wise to allow such kind of a discussion around the BBI report. And therefore, I believe more and more demands, more and more interest groups are going to come on board. And this will have a very negative repercussions for the report itself.
Because the last time I checked, the BBI was supposed to change the constitution to fix some of the problems that Kenyans, that we have, that we have here in Kenya, to address the issue of, the 9-point agenda, cohesion and unity and corruption and things like that. And now, when did it turn into a document that is meant to solve the personal issues and the interest of the governors? That is where I really, really don't understand. And as a Kenyan this morning, I don't know if I'm outraged or I'm just disappointed that all these 2 days they were supposed to meet and deliberate on the BBI and look at the areas and issues that they think perhaps are not fully captured and see how they can bring their input. And what they do is come up with things that has nothing to do with Kenyans. This was supposed to be a Kenyan document. It is Kenyans who this committee of experts sat across the country and took to them their ideas and opinions. And I did not see that captured in that BBI report that we keep looking at here, because it is about Kenyans. Please, our leaders, I wish they would understand. I don't know if I'm really disappointed this morning, Karanja.
Thank you very much, Miriam, and good morning to our viewers and Matsanga. I see you there. And Miriam, this document was to bring healing to this nation, was to bring, and they had the 9 guiding principles that will ensure that we fight corruption, we have a credible election, we have a country that have equitable sharing of resources. Those were the things among many more that made this BBI to come, so that we have peace and we have integration in this nation. Miriam, what we are seeing our governors doing, these are personal interests, they are hungry for money, and this is something that is quite unacceptable at this moment. Because Miriam, having them getting those cars, 3,000 cc cars after retirement, that package that they're asking for, this money, they want to use it for themselves. Miriam, they are also making some ridiculous statements that even if in case of corruption that happens in our counties, the governors should not be blamed. Now, Miriam, who should be blamed? And they are the head of the counties. Miriam, if, and I said this, if we allow these people, every group to bring their own selfish interest, Miriam will make this BBI document porous. It will have more holes. People will bring ideas that are not even making sense. Miriam, you'll see even people, like even us in the media, will come with our own recommendations and say that because we are journalists and we are this, we should also be considered in this document. Comedians will come, musicians, everybody. Now it will move from a document of bringing Kenyans together to a document of dividing Kenyans even more. Because Miriam, when we start seeing people saying that they need their coffee to be integrated in the document, others say the fish, everybody will come up with their own document. At the end of the day, we will start fighting on whose idea should be taken and whose idea is making sense, whose idea is superior, and which one is inferior.
All right.
Miriam, that is not the way to go.
All right, Karan. And as you were talking, I was just looking at this story here on page 4 of the Daily Nation, and something else almost made me just jump from my seat. All right, one of the proposals. Yes, I've never seen people so selfish in my life. Now, they're saying, now the council wants governors, deputy governors, county assembly speakers, and ward representatives given retirement packages, all right? They should be entitled to a monthly pension equal to 8% of their current salary. The statement by Mr. Paranya said. They should also get a lump sum payment on retirement. So you want a lump sum payment on retirement, and then you want still to get a pension equal to 8% of your current month on a monthly basis, right? Calculated at a sum equal to one year salary, the lump sum payment. So calculated to whatever they're earning now, they're given a lump sum of that equals 1 year salary. And then other retirement packs being proposed by the group are a saloon car of an engine capacity not exceeding 2,000 cc. That is not enough, they're continuing to say, which shall be replaced every 4 years. A four-wheel drive vehicle of an engine capacity not exceeding 3,000 cc, replaceable every 4 years, and a fuel allowance equal to 15% of current monthly salary. Professor, good morning.
Good morning, Miriam.
Tell me this is not what I'm reading on our papers this morning. That is not what our governors are doing in Naivasha. I am disappointed beyond.
Miriam, wonders never cease.
Please adjust your headroom.
Yeah, wonders never cease. Dunia kuna watu na viatu.
Sawa ni gani?
Are you guys singing that one? I have, you know what, when you have just read those ones, I thought I was dreaming anyway. I've never seen terrible people just like Miriam. When you go to work in the public service, you go there to offer service. And when you are a public servant, especially on leadership, Miriam, nothing stops them from just going to look for employment, and then they can be able to demand that or negotiate. But when you become member of the county assembly, member of parliament, a governor, senator, Miriam, you are there to serve the people of Kenya, not to go there to serve your selfish interests, Miriam. Miriam, you can imagine the independence members of parliament in 1960s, 1970s, and even 1980s, Miriam. Even some of the other 1990s, Miriam, those people were there serving, they're serving this country, Miriam. And when they tell you that, Miriam, this is what we were earning, you can't imagine. They selfishly served this country. Time has come, Miriam, for people to choose what do they want. The constitution will make constitutions are not meant to be made for you and me. Constitutions are there to serve people for studies. Miriam, what about those people who are not privileged to be around? Who will make the constitution for them? Those who are not privileged. And Miriam, this money they are asking, where is this money coming from? Miriam, I looked at this member, this governors, I said, oh my God, what has happened to some of these governors? Imagine even Miriam, they are suggesting they don't even want to be audited. Miriam, I cannot understand Miriam, and I have said here now, Miriam, I'm even tempted to blame the president and the prime minister. You know, Miriam, you cannot be Mr. Nice. You make the decision to annoy or not to annoy.
Maybe that's why President and
you
Prime Minister
you can't. This document has been properly prepared. Now, what we need to do, Miriam, to get is a question. Let me just go and oppose it, Miriam.
Because it is supposed to be the opinion of Kenyans, and
yes,
looking at the reports you've been looking here.
Why were they not representing those views, Miriam?
Kenyans did not suggest that.
Yes. Those are Kenyans who gave their views. We cannot have, Miriam, if we open that document, we'll continue opening, Miriam, and we will not make a decision, Miriam. Leadership provides that you offer leadership. And I entirely agree with the Prime Minister, what he was trying to say, Miriam. It is some of the things which were said and did not come out clearly. Just like the pastoralists. Because of their level of understanding, Miriam, we cannot blame them. We just need to stoop too low so that we understand together. What they were asking is captured in agriculture. But since they wanted to come out that agriculture, farming, to do with livestock, and even fishing, it comes out very clearly. Miriam, that's what we are going to do. We are not going to subject ourselves to new ideas. Miriam, even see how I have never seen a terrible man like our deputy president, the president. He seems not to have what he's standing for. He's now going, oh, the governors are saying something correct. Oh, the governors are saying, Miriam, why can't they prepare themselves and say, as we are opposing this document? Yeah. And whatever, in 10 years ago, we promised that, Miriam, whatever the 20% where we were having problem, we will amend in the future. The opportunity has come now, and indeed, we are amending. Now time has come, whatever they have, we can amend it in the future.
But you can tell,
that's my take, Miriam.
You can tell whatever they were meeting to discuss a whole 2 days there in Naivasha. I was just hoping they were deliberating on issues they feel are of great concern to Kenyans, and they wanted to see how they can enhance
money,
it.
Miriam, for taxpayers' money. Those hotels were paid, the mileage was paid, the allowance was paid. Merely to go and just discuss that kind of nonsense.
I am beyond.
You can't stomach that, Miriam.
I am beyond disappointed this morning, our governors. And why, Matsanga, in God's name, they want 2 cars, a saloon car, I guess one for their wives, and a 4-wheel drive for them, or the other way around, and then they need that replaced every 4 years.
I think
Which country is this?
This country should be go the China way.
Miriam, I think the conversation that we've been having, where some political leaders have been saying that the BBA report should not be hijacked by politicians. This is the juncture in time, Miriam, where the BBA report is at the jeopardy of being hijacked by the politicians. And as Professor says, Kenyans are the ones who gave these suggestions, and they gave them in their numbers. We had over 93 meetings, forums, where Kenyans appeared before the committee, the steering committee, and they presented their views. The governors also were not left behind. They had their time before the committee when it was drafting this particular document. I don't know at what particular point in time they felt that some of the issues that they submitted to the BBI committee were not well captured in the report. And to me, I think it is a very evil and quite a treacherous scheme by the county governors to change Kenyans at the topmost level of this particular report, where the Kenyans submitted issues that really affect their lives, issues that touch their lives quite impactful, and they want now to come up with their own kind of document where they believe they are more equal than the Kenyan people, and they feel that they can just bulldoze their way through. I think that is a very, very bad notion. And if given a chance to do that, then I believe more people are going to come on board. You saw also the MCAs feeling disgruntled about that requirement for them to have a university degree. And Miriam, that is a very, very progressive recommendation by the BBI report, because I believe Kenya does not lack people who are qualified intellectually and technically to be able to run for those offices like the county assembly and be able to manage over the amount of money, which the 5%, which will be going to the ward level. And if anyone argues that perhaps you do not need a university degree to be able to manage such a particular amount of money, then ask them why we cannot choose someone like Mike Sonko and put him to govern the Central Bank of Kenya. So to me, I think these leaders are not being genuine, and whatever cause they're advocating right now is no longer now the cause of the Kenyan people, but their own selfish political interests and gains. So to me, so to me, Miriam, I think there's no way the government of the day, the Prime Minister and President Uhuru Kenyatta, should give these leaders a chance to change the course and the tide of the BBI report. Let us close that debate. Let us get the referendum question and go to the polls, and the polls will determine. After all, we are a democratic society, and that is what democracy exposes. But if we give room for consensus, that will create a breeding ground of even where those people who feel like the BBI report should not be there in the first place to hide there and be able to instigate their vicious attacks on the document. And at the end of the day, as Professor says, it will make sure that the document does not see the light of the day. So it is quite a dangerous to allow such kind of negotiations.
As you have put it, because here's the thing, when even for those who are calling for consensus and wider consultation, I would not even have imagined these are the kind of things they wanted to go consult and have consensus on, because PBA, as we all know, unless that has changed, but the leaders, the two key leaders, they have not told us these have changed. It was based on a 9-point agenda. A 9-point agenda. National ethos, responsibilities and rights. We have ethnic antagonism and competition. Let's just jog our mind. I want to see where we were supposed to suggest how much we need to give these people. Divisive elections, shared prosperity, corruption, safety and security devolution, which we looked at the other day, and that was not even captured. Commissions and cross-cutting, that was included there. And it goes and goes and goes. But it was built and unity and cohesion and all of that. The things that it was felt needed to be addressed in this country so that we're able to heal and move forward as a country and be better and perhaps build a better country for the future generations here, because we know, as it has been every 5 years, we have a problem with the electoral process, which was not exactly addressed, but perhaps, well, that is another, conversation for another day. And now the governors, being the people who will, the governors want the release of funds to county governments streamlined. And they're saying in order to ensure timely release of funds to counties, the disbursement schedule as prescribed by legislation will be submitted to the Central Bank of Kenya by the Speaker of the Senate for implementation within 14 days of passage of the Division of Revenue Act. The governors will be key. So this is why they feel they have the country by I don't even want to use that word. Now, the governors will be a key to the passage of the report, as they will be used to mobilize voters for the referendum and persuade ward representatives to pass the law in 24 of the county's 47 counties. County Assembly Forum Chairman Dego Home said members are still discussing the proposals ahead of meeting. So this basically is a blackmail here, Javen.
True.
This is just evil. Karanja, I don't know if you're able to hear us. Professor, go ahead.
Miriam, even let us start with consensus. Kenyans, every Kenyan was given an opportunity, Miriam, to give their views. We did that. In fact, even them, they did that. They gave their views. Council of Governors, they gave their views. They gave their presentation, Miriam. Then we came up with BBI 1. And then, Miriam, we said, okay, let us be given the opportunity to be told, Miriam, what you had said, what it was captured. We went for validation. Miriam, when you talk about consensus, they are going to agree consensus with you. If we give our views, Miriam, and our views have been captured, now are they going to ask us to go consensus? Whom do they want to go to consensus? And I've said here, Miriam, and I want to repeat again, the constitutional making or amendment does not belong to the political class. It belongs to the people of Kenya. Now, where we have reached, Miriam, now is to have a referendum question. And you take a position, Miriam. And let me tell you, Miriam, honestly, we cannot agree on all those nine agenda. Miriam, let me tell you for honest, things which take Kenya forward. You have seen the newspapers, Miriam, 224 billion are lost to corruption. Have you heard these governors addressing corruption? Have you heard the deputy president addressing corruption? Have you heard these people asking for consensus, Miriam, addressing corruption, Miriam? Have you heard them talking about the youth? Have you heard them saying that Mama Mboga, is anybody talking about Mama Mboga, Miriam? Why can't we be honest with the people of Kenya, Miriam? What happens, Miriam? Let me tell you for one. These people think that if they can shoot that down, that they will affect the prime minister and the president. Let them hear this and know this. President Uhuru Kenyatta is going on retire. And you will repay him when he's on retire. He has finished his political career. You do it that you are punishing them, you end them. Even the prime minister, Miriam, is on the tail 8 years of his age, of his life. So, Miriam, let them not blackmail the way you are using the blackmail. We are making this document for posterity. Miriam, like now the pastoralists, I have given a very good example, Miriam. They came forward and said, we feel that this document, we are not factored in. Then the prime minister listened to them, and they tell, okay, it is in agriculture, but if you want us to move it out this way so that it becomes very clear, so be it. Members of parliament and the Senate, they went to Naivasha. They were having this document. When they came out from Naivasha, Miriam, they said, all what we have been asking, it is in the document. So I expected governors, sincerely. They say that we do not understand this document, and the experts, they are there to take them through, and then they understand. Where there is something very genuine, Miriam, it can be understood. But those kind of demands, Miriam, that we are going to give them this, the Saruni car. I don't know. After 4 years, we improve their pension, Miriam.
Professor,
where is this money coming? Even the money they are saying,
after
even
4
the
years.
money they are saying, Miriam, that which the government sends, the central bank sends on timely basis. Miriam, let me tell you, this is taxes we correct, and sometimes, Miriam, we don't meet the targets. We don't meet the target. So do we send what we don't have? Even when we do the budget, Miriam, we project. This is what we are going to correct. This is what we are going to spend. So if what we have projected, Miriam, we have not corrected, where do you want the government to send money from? They should be able to understand. And I think, Miriam, I need to take them to school and teach them a few lessons for free.
I don't even know if I want them to attend your class, Professor, because these are people that are just a bunch of entitled politicians calling themselves leaders here. Why should we be replacing your car every 4 years?
Yeah, Miriam.
Why? Go ahead, Karanja.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I was muted, but now I've unmuted. And there's something this is blackmail, Miriam. You know, now the governors and the MCAs, they are taking this advantage because this document will come to the ward levels for the mobilization so that they can be passed through the 24 county assemblies. That is why they are taking this place and they are taking it at ransom so that they can use that chance to make their ridiculous demands. Miriam, why do we need to pay them when they are going for a retire and we give them 2 cars and those other things that they are demanding? Miriam, this is a kind of, why did they go, and if they feel like, I heard some governors asking, where will they go after office? Now you wonder, when they were coming to office, did they don't know where they will go back to? President Uhuru Kenyatta is retiring. He knows where he will go after. He have an exit strategy. Therefore, these governors, Miriam, they wanted to have something called regional government. And that is what they were pushing for, to have 14 regional governments, so that after you finish your 2 terms as a county governor, you push yourself higher to go and represent a regional government. And that one did not materialize in the document. That is why they are confused, because at the end of the day, they are there to champion for their own personal interest and for their own stomach. This is plutocrat people, because they feel for their own, they don't feel for the 190 who voted for them. Miriam, when you look at the MCAs, these are people who are supposed to account. Now they are making demands that the BBI
they've not,
increase the amount from...
they've not even, they're meeting today, so they're coming with a list of demands. So let's just wait for the bombshell, I'm sure, because they'll also want, a plane or what now?
Yeah, but the information that is going around, they are saying that they want the 5% to be increased to 15%. This is amount that they have not even utilized. They don't know even what this 5% means. Therefore, these are people who are looking for ways to get more money. And Miriam, another funny demand that they are saying that these county assemblies, the governor should be given that power to fire the deputy governor, to control the assembly. All these manner of demands are not making sense. And Miriam, the core principle of the BBI process was to unite Kenyans. But Miriam, I'm foreseeing a situation where this document is currently dividing Kenyans, Miriam. When you come to this region, people are talking of coffee and the majani chai. When you go to other places, they are talking of their cattle and something else. Miriam, at the end of the day, this document, if not well looked up, it will bring kind of community groupings, community division. At the end of the day, it will be dividing and burning this country. And that is why some people are excited when we have these kind of choruses in this document, when we have these holes in the document, because the people who drive the division, they are getting a good chance. And I think the president, the former prime minister, if they remain reluctant as they are doing right now, this document will be used to divide Kenyans, Miriam. At the end of the day, you will not go to Masai land if you will not talk of cattle. You will not come to Mount Kenya region without talking of coffee and the majani chai. You will not go to other places without talking of fish and other resources. Miriam, at the end of the day, now people have retreated back to their tribal cocoons, because now they are making tribal, community, ethnic-based kind of demands. At the end of the day, this document is dividing Kenyans. And I think the blame will lie on President and the former Prime Minister. Let the document go as it is now. Let it go the process. If people feel to oppose, Let
Yes.
them go and oppose directly, Miriam.
Okay.
But if
All
they
right.
allow one group, Miriam, if they allow those demands by governors to be incorporated in the document, everybody, I told you, everybody will come and start making their demands.
All right.
Teachers will come, nurses will come, everybody in this country, even people, borders guys,
Even me
wheelbarrows
here.
guys, they will come making their demands.
All right,
At
all
the end
right.
of the day, this document will not see the light of the day.
Very well, thank you so much, Emmanuel Olenkiti. Thank you for joining us this morning. Unasema hii BBI haitaki makasiriko. First of all, Emmanuel, let me know your thoughts about these demands that are being made by our governors, all right? Do you think they're right? Let me know your thoughts on that. Thank you so much, and the rest of you who are watching us. Let's share with us your thoughts on these new demands that the governors have put forth. One of them is they be given a lump sum, a total of what they've been earning for a whole year. Then after that, they'll be given yearly, monthly. After they vacate office, 8% of their salary, their current salary, and on top of that, we will give them one saloon car with an engine capacity of 2,000 cc and a 4x4 there with an engine capacity of 3,000 cc. And as the taxpayers of this country are supposed to be replacing those cars every 4 years, tell me how that even makes sense. Now, Ruto allies, I'm reading from the Daily Nation, page 4 there. It says Ruto allies made new demands to the president. All right, more demands are coming your way. Jubilee Party. Yes, before you come in, you'll come in, Daniel, after this. Jubilee Party Deputy Secretary General Caleb Koseitan, Kericho Senator Aaron Cheriot, Nakuru Woman Representative Liza Chelule, and her Nyeri counterpart Rahab Mukami, and MPs George Muragura of Tharaka and Matthias Robbie of Kuria West told Mr. Kenyatta to provide a clear avenue for citizens and other institutions that have concerns with the BBI to raise them. They said that can be achieved by establishing county BBI secretariats to collect views from Kenyans on their concerns with the report, listening to the views of institutions, including the National Council of Churches of Kenya, women leaders, and the judiciary. And I thought after the first launch of the BBI last year, November, time was given so that Kenyans were able to go back again and give their views. Where do you think our leaders were? They're saying we should form BBI secretariats in every county. So let's go back to the drawing board. I think that is what they're saying, Daniel, so that these issues could be addressed.
I don't know. Yes, I don't know at what particular point do those ones who felt that the BBI report should be shut down even before its contents are known can now prescribe whatever we should take as a people in regards to BBI report. And I think they hate time, Miriam, when the president, the former prime minister, was calling on Kenyans and even the political class to go and appear before the committee of experts. These are people who are very adamant. Instead, they are moving around the country, really launching attacks on the very, very same document. So, to me, I think it's a well-planned strategy in that they plan that once the BBI report is out, we're gonna again bring out some trouble, create some trouble in that it will not be able to take a very smooth transition from being launched now to heading on to the referendum. And I think for President Uhuru Kenyatta and the entire BBI team, they should not be distracted. In Africa, we say that don't lose the sight of an antelope due to a dashing a squirrel. And I believe some of these issues which are being raised by the governors and the Tanga allied MPs are just but mere innuendos. It's just a bag of air. Because if you tell a governor who has been in office, currently governors are provided for by the government. They have cars. Some of the governors, even we had to put a cap on the number of cars and the bodyguards they hover around with, because you could think it was a presidential motorcade. And going ahead, some of these governors going ahead to request more cars, it's just some kind of gluttony that should not be tolerated by taxpayers. And some of those actually are the problems that the BBI report is seeking to address: the prudent usage of public resources, cutting off all those leakages. So I think these are people who are not aligned to even the principles and the values which are exposed in the BBI report. And we should not allow them to distract the process, the good process of a people-driven document by bringing in their own selfish agenda. And as Javan said, it is just some way of blackmail, which we should not allow Miriam in any particular way, because if we give it an opportunity to take root and that particular seed to germinate, then expect people from Nyanza to come on board with their sugar industry demands. Expect people from Kisii, who are mostly tea farmers, also to come on the table with their own unique demands. Expect people from the coast coming also with the issue they had previously with the Kenya Ports Authority, the port being moved to dry port in Naivasha. So we're going to open a Pandora box that we might not be able to solve at the end of the day. So I believe, Miriam, we don't solve problems by creating more problems, but by addressing the current problems and not allowing people to come in and create even more and much bigger problems. So to me, I think they should reconsider, let the governors be the last people the BBI team is engaging, and also as they engage the governors, let them not relent on some issues. We have to make it clear that the gains which have been made through the BBI report, the problems which have been identified, we are not going to backtrack on them. And if anyone, as Professor says, if anyone feels that they are not satisfied with that, let us meet at the ballot. And as a democratic country, it is the same citizenry which brought about these suggestions, the views of the BBI report will be the same ones who will be able to unanimously vote for them and pass them. Otherwise, 47 individuals cannot decide the fate of 50 million Kenyans, Miriam. Mm-hmm. That is my take on that.
All right, and that was the headline there on the BBI, Uhuru and Ruto, and Raila cornered there, not Ruto, because Raila yesterday clarified. Remember when we were looking at the papers yesterday and what the deputy president, was very happy with what he thought Raila meant. BBI is open for more opinions, and Raila yesterday came out and really corrected that. So I don't know where this leaves the deputy president. Because he was really looking forward to a consensus there and for him to give his views. But we shall not get into that. Yesterday, President Uhuru Kenyatta, of course, launched the commuter train sets off there in Nairobi yesterday. So let's see what really happened, even as we look at President Uhuru Kenyatta's legacy. A lot has been happening. Nobody has been paying keen attention to what else outside of the BBA has been happening and the government has been doing. So Kenya Railways yesterday launched faster trains imported from Spain to serve Nairobi commuters and more than double passenger traffic from the current 15,000 to 40,000. The trains, comprising 4 coaches and capable of being driven from either direction, will begin operating today and ply 10 modernized railway terminals, including Syokimau, Makadara, Pipeline, Donholm, Imara Daima, and Embakasi Village. President Kenyatta launched the diesel trains imported early this year to boost the intra-city rail transport and reduce reliance on the slow, costly road transport. The 6.6 billion Kenya shillings project will now make train transports faster and easier. I mean, that is a good thing, Professor.
Yeah, Miriam, thank you for that question, but I wanted to make this one very clear from the item we have moved in one sentence.
Yes.
Anybody who is talking about consensus, Miriam, get it from me. Those are opposing BBI. Know that one. They are looking for an excuse so that they come out very clear. Mark this space and you will come and tell me, Prof, you were right. All those people who are talking about consensus, in the long run, they will be in the no campaign. They are looking for excuse. So the Prime Minister and the President should mark that. We should be able to get those who are for and those who are against. Then, Miriam, you are saying when it comes to modern transport in our cities, Miriam. You know, Miriam, we got it wrong, Miriam. Mm-hmm. I came to Nairobi, Miriam, at a time when the Kenya Pass was working very well. You could move from the airport to Langata, from Kawangware to Kariobangi, from where, Huruma, all those kind of things. The system was working, Miriam. Then we came with the Nyayo project, Miriam. Again, it was mismanaged, Miriam. And you know, Nairobi, Miriam, is a very important city of United Nations. This is where UN Habitat is headquartered, Miriam. And we cannot afford to have chaotic in the city, Miriam. Miriam, we spend almost 3 or 4 hours in a traffic jam. In terms of man hours, Miriam, in terms of productivity, Miriam, the country cannot prosper. You spend 3 hours going to work, you spend 3 hours coming home. How many hours are those, Miriam? That's a whole day. That's a whole day. So, Miriam, that is a very progressive thing, Miriam. It is going to ease transport, Miriam. Those coaches are going to reduce the traffic jam. Even in terms of pollution, Miriam, they are going to reduce, Miriam. So, Miriam, it is a huge thing, Miriam, and I support the president. What I'm happy is that the fact that people are focused on Mokongoteni, wheelbarrow, BBI, the president is still working. And I'm very happy and I'm very proud of for what this government is doing. His legacy is on course. So, Miriam, if you travel to most cities in the world, I have been to a few, and I see, Miriam, if urban transport is not taken care of, Miriam, then you don't know what you are trying to do. Miriam, these matatus are supposed to cut long distance, getting out of the city, not even to come near the city, even to smell the city. They should just stop at Maimayu and go back to Kisii and go to Western. They should. We should have the other transport, few vehicles, Miriam, carrying more than 100 people coming, and we have few of them, and Miriam, we can be able to manage our traffic jam. This is a very good starting point, Miriam, and I'm seeing us moving somewhere, Miriam.
All right.
Let us give this a try and let us support that, Miriam.
All right, very well. So, Daniel, this new commuter train that is faster compared to the one we had before there, and the other one we had a passenger capacity of 15,000. This one has 40,000 capacity, over double that number. What difference do you think this will make to commuters in Nairobi, especially those routes that it will be plying? Daniel? Karanja?
Yeah, thank you, Miriam. And one thing, and on that, let me make one sentiment on that issue of the BBI. Miriam, there's a African proverb that says, a bird does not sing because it has an answer, it sings because it has a song. That's exactly what these people are doing. They are just shouting, but they don't have any answers to the problem of Kenyans. Because they have a song towards their stomach and towards where their master tells them to do, that is why the Tangatangas are making such even documents of conning the president around one corner, so that at the end of the day, we'll see that the president had a project that failed terribly, and that is why even his Big Four agenda is not materializing. Miriam, when you look at this, the Big Four agenda, the president in matters transport, he has done a lot of things. Miriam, you saw yesterday what he was doing. He commissioned that commuter railway in Nairobi. This will ensure that we ease the traffic jam that we have in the city. This will ensure that people will be able to move faster from where they want to go to one place to another, to their workplaces. And this is how the economy grows, because at the end of the day, that train is employing people. There are some people who will earn a living from that train. There are people who will get even to do other things, because they will be able to go and do one job there, go another place in time, and they do another assignment. That is what we mean by having revolutioning our economy, so that it becomes an economy that is quite productive. Miriam, also, you see in this thing where people use a lot of time, you stay in these traffic jams for 3-4 hours. Miriam, that time will be recovered, because you'll go, and Miriam, one thing else, apart from that time recovery and so on, this thing is cheap. It's cheap compared, it is a common mwananchi friendly, and that is the way the government should do, because it's really a concern with the worries of the people of Kenya. Miriam, apart from even that commuter railway in Nairobi, the government is doing other mega projects around the country. Miriam, when you go around our constituency, you will not fail to see a national government project, especially construction of roads, tarmac roads. These are all-weather roads, meaning that the people of this country will be able to move and to transport their goods in all seasons of the year. That is a very good step, because even the farmers and the other people get more resources. And Miriam, this is where even the BBI is coming with all these good recommendations. When we increase this allocation to our county government, will be able even to know which people need these roads. Miriam, you know, good roads and so on, this is the legacy, and this is what is transforming our transport system. Because at the end of the day, a country that is have all these roads that are good and well connected, the economic grows, villages are opened up, people are able to come to settle in time, and that's exactly what the government of the day is doing. Miriam, on that commuter rail and that train that was commissioned yesterday, it will also help. I saw the president putting more emphasis on the small-scale traders, because they will be able to get their goods in time. If you're in Naivasha and you'll be able to get your goods, you'll be able to transport them and to get them in time. This will ensure that your customers will get their services in time, they'll get their clothes, they'll get the products that you sell to them, and the people will be able to make profit, because we know the small-scale traders in this country, the SMEs, are the people who hold this country together. These are people who make and they create a very big job opportunities to this country. And when the president is looking on to them and ensuring that they make good profits, then that is something that we must give a tick and say that is a good thing.
All right, very well. And Transport Cabinet Secretary James Macharia said the expansion plan for the commuter rail system was progressing well, with additional stations to be included along Kikuyu lines. We have designed 20 new stations in the plan to make it easier for boarding and ticketing. We will soon complete the alternative bus terminal, whose buses will take commuters from the railway station when they alight and bring them if they want to board. And the Nairobi Metropolitan Services has also been tasked with constructing a traffic management center at City Cabanas, a system that will utilize traffic cameras and sensors to provide synchronized signal across the city. And we know, under President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda, we know that infrastructure is one of the key driving factors, because you require proper infrastructure so that manufacturing can be successful. You require good infrastructure so that even the health system, can be effective. Because if you have bad road connections and a mother wants to deliver, however good the hospital is that you've provided, and it's miles away or kilometers away, and they don't have the infrastructure to get there, that will be a problem. So infrastructure is very, very important and is one of the key driving factors there for President Uhuru Kenyatta's Big Four agenda. So I think that is a very good thing. And Wesonga seems to have left the conversation, but I think he will join us soon. He's been having a problem with his signal. I wanted to get his mind on this before we, because our time is up. All right, Wesonga. Okay. All right, so he'll be joining us. I think that is quite good. And one of our viewers here, Tankoi Adam, thank you so much. And you're saying governors have a right to give their demand. They deserve pension and also right to select anyone as their deputy, not force in form of gender question, since even the top executive position, the question of gender has not been considered in the BBI. Okay.
Yeah, we have not said that they don't have a right. They have got a right, okay. But some of the things they are making, does it make sense to the Kenyans? Mm-hmm. That's what you are trying to say. We have not stopped them from asking, but what you are trying to say that, Miriam, even if your child said, go and bring for me this, if you don't have money, you say, okay, I've heard, I will do something. Mm-hmm. So we are not saying that they don't have a right. We are a people who cannot take people's rights. Those are right. They're right. Let us talk about Miriam. They do not make any sense at all. Yeah. And we have got every right to critique Miriam.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And lastly, on that very long comment, you're saying on this issue of legacy, Uhuru did very well in the first term. Anybody can notice that. But when the handshake happened and his deputy was sidelined, so far his legacy is a total disarray. And you would know that President Kenyatta's own supporters and even the deputy himself have been the people who have been sabotaging his legacy. So if you're looking for a place to go, point at. I don't know if you will be pointing at, but anyway, he launched another train, so that should go to.
He's even saying that the deputy president has been sidelined. The president himself has said, and the deputy president has not denied. He is focusing in 2022.
Yeah.
So someone who is campaigning for 2022, he has got no time to work.
So the deputy president removed himself.
Nobody has assigned him, and we are paying him money as the deputy president for the Republic of Kenya.
All right, because
So
President
people
Kenyatta
must be
said
able to
that.
get facts right, and I don't know what he's saying that the first term, maybe on the second term on what's happening, Miriam, our brother is not being Miriam to achieve peace, to have a tranquility, to have harmony in the country, Miriam. Let our viewer know that peace is development, and development is peace.
Okay.
Without the peace, now we are enjoying Miriam.
We cannot.
Kenyans are free.
All right.
Kenyans are happy.
Okay, so Tankoi, ndio hiyo the commuter train set, I mean, hiyo ilikuwa launched yesterday. That is just part of President. So in case you're wondering what he's been doing, that is just another thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, Miriam, and our viewers are doing very well to watch and listen to the conversation. But that guy was saying that the first term of the president, Uhuru Kenyatta, I would also invite him to tell us the projects that he feels were done excellent, and we came to the second term, that what the government has failed to do. Miriam, you know, when we say that the government has not done anything, he should tell us this is what the government promised, but it has failed to deliver. But in first time, they promised the laptops, they promised the stadiums, they promised a lot of good, but those things are being achieved in the second term. Therefore, I think he is just playing. I think he should be open enough to the discussion and try to see things clearly from where he sits. Because in the first term, a lot of things were not achieved. Most of the roads are being commissioned to be used to be in operations in the second term, because that was work in progress. Therefore, these are continuity. That is why we give them a second term to continue with what they were doing, and we are seeing them achieving. Therefore, he should tell us what the government promised and it has not delivered on the second term and on the
Timorere Dam.
Okay, we shall look at we shall look at because you know the headline here on the Star newspaper, which we will not touch on right now because we'll come here at 11, and Haji Kenyans stole 224 billion Kenya shillings in 3 years. So we shall looking at a DPP scorecard and the fight against corruption. So maybe, Professor, you can serve the Kimorel comment. I'm not sure if Tanko will be very happy with you, but we shall look at that when we come back here.
No, he's trying to say the first time 2013, 2017, good work was done.
The second time,
but I'm trying to say, I'm trying to say
yes,
more than 21 billion were taken during that period. That's what I'm trying to say, yes, so that you can be able to say that now that someone has been sidelined, allegedly been sidelined, are we losing money the way we lost that kind of money?
All right. So in case
and that money is alleged to have been taken by who?
And also, I think thank you so much for bringing this point up, because it goes exactly to the because 224 billion Kenya shillings stolen in 3 years. And 7 CSs, PSs, 11 governors, 22 parastatal chiefs charged with corruption since 2017. So this is a topic that I will invite you to join us on as we look at the DPP scorecard at 11. Please, Atankoi, Emmanuel, thank you so much. And you're saying you agree that the BBI should be for peace, love, and unity, but it has lost its original meaning. You're saying the BBI has become a joke. With the demands that the governors are making, I agree with you. If we put them in the BBI, then it will be a joke. So perhaps you don't need to incorporate those. I don't know what you meant there, Emmanuel, but thank you. Thank you there. All right, on the front pages of the Standard, see, whatever we were talking about, I had not even looked at this headline earlier in the morning. It says, season of blackmail. And then it says, BBI madhouse. Confusion and doublespeak are plenty as politicians scramble for position. Elected leaders make outrageous demands to support reforms with little dividend for Mwananchi on the menu. And I really agree with this headline this morning. And I think we already talked about that. And these outrageous demands by our leaders. So down there, what the governors want, all money is held by parastatals that perform devolved functions to be transferred to counties. What I need to know, and what perhaps I was hoping our governors would put forth even as they discuss matters, money and all that, how and can they give us their audited reports of the taxes they raise from their counties, are we able to assess their fiscal, what is it called? It has a name.
Fiscal management.
It has a name. It has a name. Yes. Are we able, because when they're given this money, the allocation of money, it's based on a raft of issues there that they look at. We need to know. Yes.
That is the fiscal viability of it. That is spoken quite in BBI. The viability projects. In that to determine whether these projects will be quite of help to the people of the certain county or locality.
No. I was talking about the fiscal effort, the how much a county is able to raise. How much a county is able to raise, because they've been raising some taxes there. So while they're busy chasing money from the national government, I was hoping they will discuss that them as government, as governors, even as they seek to have these economic blocks or whatever it is they're suggesting, they will also create a more accountable system to able to audit the monies that the counties are also collecting as taxes, so that we're able to. Yes.
Miriam, on that point.
Yes.
Some of those money which the counties are correcting in terms of sales, in terms of levies, yes. Miriam, that money is mishandled, is misused. They only remit very, very little amount of money, Miriam, to central bank. In fact, during the local authorities, county governments then, and the municipalities, Miriam, they used to collect more money than now this one they are getting, Miriam. So much of the money they are having some offshore accounts, Miriam, where they are routing that kind of money, Miriam.
I would like them to talk about that.
No, you are right, Miriam.
Yes. Because they can't keep asking. Now they want that the functions devolved to the election from parastatals that are now being performed by the money by the counties. Now the money should follow. Which okay, fine. But are you able to tell us that you, as governors of the 47 counties of this country, you have structures in place that you can account for every penny that you get in terms of taxes that you collect in your counties? Or why are we supposed to turn a blind eye to that? That should be a factor. And I was hoping that could be one of the things that they discuss, even as they plan to form these economic blocks. These people.
And,
I also hear them saying that they want something, I don't know whether it is in the papers, but I was listening to one of local radio stations, and they are saying that they want even the IBC to be decentralized to the county level, so that they can have their own electoral commissioners there.
At county
level. That is hypocrisy, because at the end of the day, these governors will control the commissioners, they will remain in office, they will get their friends to be elected in some of these positions. These are the kind of hypocrisy that these governors are portraying. And if we allow this document to go this way, Miriam, this is a recipe for division, a corrosive kind of relationship within Kenya, and this document will not see the day.
And not even AES point to IBC functions devolved so that elections are managed at. Have you lost your mind? As if you don't know our election history in this country. Have you?
Yes. Yeah. When you talk about how to improving the local revenue collected by the counties, I think it's a very, very integral matter in this kind of discussion, because you've realized that since the NMS, the Nairobi Metropolitan Service, took over collection of revenue in Nairobi County, we've seen a double increase in amount of revenue that is being collected in Nairobi, and probably by the end of the year, that is, as per the DG, the General Mbadi, is that they are projecting to collect even triple the amount. So now that tells you that where was this 2/3 of tax revenue being collected now by the Nairobi Metropolitan Service? Where was it going in the previous Sonko-led county government? That tells you that we have a lot of leakages. Our counties are not able even to collect enough money to pay even their own staffs, and much of this money goes into the hands of into the pockets of the governors and their cronies. And when they request more from the county, from the national government, it even baffles me, because as Professor always says that to whom much is given, much is expected, and that should be at the center of our discussion. How can the counties better raise their revenues? How can they also make sure that the money which is given to them is centered around development and elevating the lives and the health of the people who they serve. And also just making sure that perhaps we have transparency, we have equity, we have inclusivity. Those are the issues that they should be talking about. Now, here what Karanja is saying that they wanted also, decentralizing IEBC to the county will be akin to giving them the leeway to micromanage that particular institution, in that a governor can do whichever thing he pleases. And in Swahili they say kupanga watu, like he might decide, in this ward I'm not having this one as an MCA. This is the person I want.
Daniel, that is such a far-fetched idea. We don't even have the structures. Like Ukienda Bomas, which is our central headquarters during our elections there, IEBC and all that. Now you want to devolve that mayhem and chaos there to 47 other places in this country. We don't even have the structures in place, first of all. We're still waiting for the people in France to open up the servers. So many years later, I'm sure. I'm sure. So now you want to add more chaos to an electoral process that we are still trying to fix. And now you want to add more chaos to it. And then something else down there, when they say they do not want to be held criminally responsible for lost wastage of county resources.
Yes, and that is why a professor say that the county governors have for so long time disillusioned themselves in myopia of imagining that there are some kind of demigods in the counties, and therefore they think now with the BBI coming up, it is an opportunity to really legitimize their kind of far-fetched clout in the counties and be able to run these entities like their private enterprise. So I think it is really disillusional to imagine that someone can bring on board such kind of funds.
Let's end it now. And Karanja, your final thoughts. They don't want to be held criminally responsible for loss or wastage of county resources. What?
Yeah, Miriam, listen to that. Now, who will be held responsible? Expect them to be accountable for the resources that come to our counties. And if they don't want to be held responsible, the best they can do is not to fight for those possessions, and they can go to other areas where they will not be held responsible. They can go to churches and start being pastors, because I think that is one of entity where you are not much held responsible for how you use your resources. But in our government and public service, we must, as the people of Kenya, hold you responsible for the amount of money that you use. Miriam, finally, if they want to decentralize, you have said that the chaos that happens in Bomas, those are tribal chaos. But when they want to take this decentralization of IBC to counties, now we'll be moving from tribal kind of crashes to clans and families kind of disagreement. This is uncalled for. We want to go this way. Miriam, BBI was brought initially to unite Kenyans, but where we are now, it is dividing Kenyans not only in ethnic basis, but also in clans, regional constituencies, and those all the divisions that you know. This is what these members of parliament are doing. And finally, Miriam, the people who should be held responsible, apart from the politicians, is us Kenyans who vote them to be in these positions of power, because we make wrong decisions in the ballot and we complain later. And when we ask to do the same and to rectify the mistake, we continue voting the same people. It's like the forest that keep voted on the axe because its handle was wooden, forgetting that the axe was used to destroy and to deforest the entire forest. At the end of the day, the forest was gone. That is the kind of scenario that we have in our country.
All right, very well. Professor, we devolved the IEBC elections so that they're managed at the county level, and also they don't want to be held criminally responsible for loss, wastage of county resources. Where on earth did they get this idea from?
Miriam, I want to concur and agree with Javan that, Miriam, when there's an advertisement of any vacancy, Miriam, there are some qualifications on what you are expected. You read, you go through them, you read the requirements. And Miriam, when you find out that you have qualified, you apply. If you find that you are not qualified, you don't apply. Simple as that. If you want to be To be the head of the county as a governor, you must be accountable to the people of Kenya. This is taxpayers' money, Miriam, and we have got every right to know the money which we have given you, how it has been used, Miriam. And even some of these MCOs who are also demanding that those qualifications should be removed, Miriam, no. You read the requirements. If you find you meet the requirements, you apply. So, Miriam, this is a situation where I'm trying to see people want to set their own exams, they mark, and then they pass themselves. Life has never been like that. Someone teaches you, set an exam, and assesses you. So some of the governors and the MCs, some of their demands, they have got the right to say what they want to say. They were given an opportunity, Miriam, to represent their views, Miriam. And it is always just like an example, Miriam. You do an exam, 3 hours is over. You forgot an answer, and when you come out of the exam, Miriam, the answer comes back to your memory. Do you go back and tell the teacher, oh, give me to write the answers because I've known? No. That's where we are, and I'm urging the president and the prime minister. We want this process to move to the next level. Just be like the cow, go to the river, drink the water, let the frogs and other animals which live in the water make noise. You will finish your business and you will come back. Kenya, we want to move forward. We identified the 9-point agenda. Miriam, look at those 9-point agenda which were identified, Miriam. See the demands of the governors and everybody else. Where does it fit? Where does it fit? So if they are thinking that these things can be conversed in the future, Miriam, let us deal with the BBI. Let us try to unify the country. And Miriam, what BBI was trying to say, Miriam, is to deal with corruption. Talk about our youth. Have national ethos. Dealing with divisive elections, Miriam. Those are what we want to deal. Dealing with divisive election now, taking them to the counties, Miriam, again. Is now dealing on perhaps, Miriam. Right. The experts will go and take these governors through that, and maybe perhaps they can understand.
All right. So, Emmanuel, you were saying that devolving. Emmanuel Olenkiti, you're saying devolving IEBC and having political parties appointing IEBC officials has no difference, as much as the request by governors to devolve IEBC is vague. The BBA stand on IEBC is a mess of independence of IEBC. And Tankoi Adam, you're saying decentralizing IEBC would increase truth to IEBC the way at national level the BBA is proposing to give 2 major parties to appoint commissioners. By the way, governors do not sign anywhere on transactions of money, and when junior officers misappropriate money, they shouldn't be directly held accountable, but should be there as witnesses to give their opinion. And please answer me this, Atankoi Adam, and thank you so much for writing to us. Why are we having so many governors facing corruption charges in courts together with their wives and families and children? Okay, I'll meet you here back at 11. And to finish on this story...
Yes. Emmanuel is our great view of ours. What we need to do, Miriam, we are not monopoly of our ideas. We want him also to say something which takes Kenyan forward. To criticize this and this is not helping. Say, these people have said this. I feel if we do this, it can take us forward. That's why we are here. And he's talking about that this governor, they don't sign. Yes, they don't sign, but they tell the accountant, pay that one, give the other one, Miriam.
How many of them do we have in court right now?
Yes.
Misappropriation.
Why is they in court?
Come on, Tankoi. Lakini asante. Alafu, naibu wa rais, mtukufu naibu wa rais jana alisema, recommendations by governors to better the workings of devolution, which has decentralized power, resources, and growth centers deserve attention. We must resist the temptation to build walls to shut out better ideas. All right, Professor Meskia. Tutaonana. We hope to meet you here at 11 a.m. Daniel, thank you. Karanja, thank you. And of course, Professor, my name is Miriam Gutu. Let's meet here at 11 a.m. and look at the DPP's scorecard on the fight against corruption. Good morning.